Hello! Welcome to a journey back in time to an era of intrigue, power, and enduring mystery. Today we're diving into the legend of Cleopatra, a woman whose story has fascinated the world for centuries. Her name echoes through history. 2,000 years later, she's still a global icon, inspiring countless books, films, and works of art. Cleopatra's image is everywhere, from grand museums to pop culture, a testament to her lasting influence. Cleopatra VII was Egypt's last pharaoh, a ruler who fought fiercely to keep her kingdom independent as Rome closed in. She inherited a throne in turmoil, yet she refused to be a mere figurehead. She was more than a symbol of beauty or romance. She was a political mastermind and a strategist. Cleopatra spoke several languages, negotiated with foreign powers, and commanded loyalty from her people and her court. In a world of powerful men like Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, Cleopatra didn't just survive, she thrived. She formed alliances, navigated dangerous rivalries, and made her mark on the ancient world. She used intelligence, charm, and wealth to challenge the greatest empire of her time. Cleopatra was a master of diplomacy, using her wit and resources to influence the course of history. Her life was a high-stakes game of thrones, and she played it with unmatched skill. Every decision she made was calculated, every alliance carefully chosen. So, how did she do it? How did a queen from a foreign dynasty hold power for so long? Cleopatra was not Egyptian by blood, but she embraced Egyptian culture and religion, winning the hearts of her people. We're peeling back the myths to reveal the real woman, her mind, her political genius, and her control over her own image. She crafted her legacy with intention, ensuring her story would be remembered. Forget the damsel in distress. This is the story of a queen who shaped her own destiny. Cleopatra was a leader, a visionary, and a force to be reckoned with. Let's unlock the secrets of Cleopatra and discover how her legend continues to rule our imagination today. Cleopatra's greatest weapon wasn't her looks, it was her mind. While history often remembers her for her legendary beauty, it was her intelligence, wit, and strategic thinking that truly set her apart from other rulers of her time. Raised in the scholarly world of Alexandria, Cleopatra grew up surrounded by the greatest minds of the ancient world. The city was a hub of learning, home to the famous Library of Alexandria, where philosophers, scientists, and scholars gathered to exchange ideas and debate the mysteries of the universe. Unlike her predecessors, Cleopatra made a conscious effort to learn and speak Egyptian fluently, even though her royal family spoke Greek. This allowed her to connect with her people on a deeper level, earning their respect and loyalty as a true pharaoh who understood their language and culture. She reportedly spoke at least 9 languages, a rare and impressive feat for any ruler. This linguistic skill gave her a huge edge in diplomacy, allowing her to communicate directly with foreign leaders and envoys, and to understand the nuances of international politics without relying on translators. Her education was vast and comprehensive. She studied mathematics, philosophy, astronomy, and medicine. Cleopatra was well-versed in the sciences and the arts, making her one of the most educated women of her era. She didn't just study passively, she actively engaged with scholars, wrote books on various subjects, and participated in lively debates. Her intellectual curiosity knew no bounds, and she was always eager to learn more and challenge conventional wisdom. Cleopatra was a scientist, a thinker, and a ruler who understood that knowledge was power. She used her intellect to innovate, solve problems, and make informed decisions that shaped the future of her kingdom. She could negotiate directly with foreign ambassadors, impressing them with her sharp mind and quick wit. Her ability to hold her own in high-stakes negotiations made her a formidable presence on the world stage. Her intellect let her navigate the complex and often dangerous politics of her era, outmaneuvering rivals and securing her place on the throne. She was always several steps ahead, anticipating threats and turning challenges into opportunities. So when you picture Cleopatra, imagine her not just as a glamorous queen, but as a scholar in a grand library, surrounded by scrolls and deep in thought, shaping the destiny of her people with every decision. Her mind was her sharpest weapon, more powerful than any army or treasure. Beauty may have opened doors for Cleopatra, but it was her intellect, confidence, and wisdom that truly commanded the room and won the loyalty of her subjects. That's the first secret to her enduring power, a brilliant mind that shaped history and left a legacy far greater than her legendary beauty. Cleopatra knew Egypt couldn't stand alone against Rome. Instead of surrendering, she forged powerful alliances with Rome's top leaders. She made herself indispensable, so vital that Rome needed her as much as she needed them. Her strategy was risky, requiring perfect timing and deep knowledge of Roman politics. Cleopatra didn't just make treaties, she built personal bonds, loyalty, ambition, even love. She presented herself as a divine partner, not a desperate queen. This elevated her status and made her alliances seem destined by the gods. Her approach kept Egypt independent and prosperous while other kingdoms fell. Cleopatra wasn't a pawn, she was a player, moving her pieces with daring. Her alliances were her greatest strength. She turned would-be conquerors into protectors. Cleopatra's most famous alliance was with Julius Caesar. When exiled by her brother, she famously had herself smuggled to Caesar in a rolled-up carpet. This bold move showed her courage and resourcefulness. Caesar was captivated. Their partnership was both political and personal, resulting in a son, Caesarion. With Caesar's support, Cleopatra regained her throne and secured Egypt's future. She even lived in Rome, scandalizing the elite and cementing her status as Caesar's partner. But when Caesar was assassinated, Cleopatra's position became perilous. She fled Rome with her son, her future uncertain. The alliance with Caesar had given her power, but now she needed a new strategy. Cleopatra's ability to adapt would be tested again. Her story with Caesar was just the beginning. She had to find a new protector or risk losing everything. The stakes had never been higher. After Caesar's death, Cleopatra waited as Rome descended into chaos. The new power was Mark Antony, Caesar's loyal general. Summoned to meet him, Cleopatra made a legendary entrance, sailing up the river as the goddess Venus. She stole the show before even speaking, establishing herself as Antony's equal. Their partnership was both romantic and strategic. Cleopatra provided Antony with resources. He gave her military protection. Together they ruled the Eastern Mediterranean, had 3 children, and dreamed of a new dynasty. Antony declared Cleopatra Queen of Kings, challenging Rome's new leader Octavian. To Romans, it looked like Antony was under Cleopatra's spell, giving away their empire. The propaganda war painted her as a villainous seductress. Their alliance set the stage for a final, epic confrontation. Cleopatra's fate, and Egypt's, hung in the balance. The world watched as East and West prepared to collide. Cleopatra's beauty is legendary, but the truth is more complex. Ancient coins show a strong, distinctive face, not the Hollywood ideal. Her real power was charisma, wit, and unforgettable presence. Plutarch wrote that her conversation and charm made her irresistible. She was a master of style and cosmetics, using science to create her own perfumes and makeup. Her dramatic eyeliner wasn't just for looks, it protected her eyes in Egypt's harsh climate. Cleopatra's image was carefully crafted. Sometimes a goddess, sometimes a powerful ruler. Even her famous donkey milk baths were practical beauty treatments. Every detail added to her mystique and legend. She built her brand with intention, making herself unforgettable. Her allure was about much more than looks. Cleopatra was the architect of her own legend. Cleopatra's secret weapon? Wealth. Egypt was the breadbasket of the Mediterranean, and she controlled its riches. She ran Egypt like a business, owning industries, managing trade, and innovating constantly. Her fortune gave her leverage over Rome's generals, who needed her money to fund their wars. Cleopatra wasn't just a lover, she was a financier, funding campaigns and buying security for Egypt. She controlled luxury goods, sponsored scientific expeditions, and wrote on economics. Her financial power kept Egypt prosperous while others fell to Rome. The splendor of her court was a form of propaganda, dazzling visitors and reinforcing her status. Her wealth funded her armies, alliances, and her legend. Cleopatra was a CEO as much as a queen. Her gold was as mighty as any army. Even the strongest alliances can crumble under the weight of fate, and Cleopatra's did at the pivotal Battle of Actium. This legendary clash on the Ionian Sea saw the combined forces of Cleopatra and Mark Antony face off against Octavian's powerful Roman fleet. The outcome would change the course of history forever. Overwhelmed and outmaneuvered, Cleopatra and Antony were forced to flee the battlefield, retreating to Egypt with Octavian's relentless forces close behind. Their hopes for victory shattered, they sought refuge in the ancient city of Alexandria, knowing the end was near. As the Roman armies closed in on Alexandria, Antony, devastated by false news of Cleopatra's death, fell into despair. Believing all was lost, he chose to end his life by his own sword, a tragic act of love and loyalty. Cleopatra, refusing to be paraded through Rome as a mere trophy of war, made a fateful decision. She would not allow herself to be humiliated before the Roman crowds. Instead, she resolved to choose her own destiny, even in defeat. According to legend, Cleopatra arranged for an asp, the deadly Egyptian cobra, to be smuggled into her chambers. The snake's bite was not just a means of escape, but a powerful symbol of her royal heritage and her connection to the gods of Egypt. By taking her own life, Cleopatra denied Octavian the spectacle of her defeat. She robbed him of his ultimate prize, and in doing so, shaped her own legend for generations to come. Cleopatra died as she had lived, proud, regal, and unbroken. She passed from this world as a queen, not a captive, surrounded by the symbols of her ancient lineage. With her death, Egypt's era of independence came to a close. The land of the pharaohs was absorbed into the vast Roman Empire, and a new chapter in history began. Yet Cleopatra's final act ensured her immortality. Her story would be told and retold, her image carved in stone and painted on ancient walls. Cleopatra's legend grew, outshining even her conqueror. Her intelligence, charisma, and daring choices became the stuff of myth and inspiration. In the end, she transformed defeat into a timeless tale, a story of love, loyalty, and defiance that would captivate the world for centuries. Cleopatra's final moments were as dramatic and unforgettable as her extraordinary life, filled with passion, intrigue, and courage. Her legend would echo through the ages, inspiring countless generations to wonder at the queen who dared to shape her own destiny. Why does Cleopatra still captivate us? Her story has it all: power, intelligence, romance, betrayal, and a spectacular ending. But her true legacy is deeper. She was a brilliant scholar, a shrewd ruler, and a master of her own image. In a man's world, she commanded armies and negotiated as an equal. After her death, Octavian tried to destroy her reputation, but her legend survived. Look closer and you see a patriotic queen fighting for her country's freedom. Cleopatra was a master of public relations, crafting every appearance to project power and divinity. She became an icon, a symbol of a woman who dared to challenge the world. Her story inspires art, literature, and film to this day. Cleopatra was more than myth. She was a survivor, a strategist, and a queen who left an indelible mark on history. She remains truly a queen for the ages.